I mean, if there was anything good about Jimmy Carter that you could say, it would probably be his pragmatic environmentalist efforts, which of course Reagan turned around and wiped his ass with. But Obama is no environmentalist. At least, I mean, don't get me wrong. This documentary is good for the environment. Every nature documentary that's ever been created, as long as it's in nature, every bit of awareness of the nature in the world around us is good. I mean, but Obama is the narrator. Is Obama an environmental expert? No, he's an authority figure, and not only so it's a symbiotic relationship between Obama and Netflix. He provides authority. He lends his legacy, the American presidency, essentially, not just his legacy, but the legacy of the United States presidency. He lends a little of that credibility to Netflix, and Netflix continues to cement in people's minds that Obama and his presidency was progressive and forward thinking and environmental and was a good presidency. And it really wasn't. I mean, he did not. Don't get me wrong. Obama was probably better than Trump, and certainly better than Biden. We've had worse presidents in my lifetime than Obama, I guess is what I'm saying. Much worse presidents than Obama Bush compared to Obama, I would take Obama over Bush any day. But all I'm trying to say is that Netflix doing this, Obama and Netflix continuing this symbiotic relationship it's bad. It's good. It's bad for us. It's good for Obama. It's good for Netflix, and it's bad for us because it gives Obama the ability to. It gives Obama more credibility. Well, he was the American president, but this can only serve to help his image, doing something like this. But I personally think it's kind of silly. I mean, it makes no sense. I would rather listen to an environmentalist talk about it. But then again, maybe I wouldn't, because the last documentary I watched was one about Woody Harrelson and his environmentalism. And that's a story worth listening to, because Woody Harrelson is actually an environmentalist. I'm sure that Woody Harrelson has much more nuanced opinions on it. It has much more to say on it. When I listen to Woody Harrelson explain some of these radical or different kinds of agriculture that we haven't seen in America really, or in the world much, in the modern age at least, when he talks about these efforts, in environmentalism, it rings more true because Woody Harrelson's been an advocate for the environment his entire life, his entire career life at least. And he uses his career as a platform for environmentalism, kind of like Leonardo DiCaprio. Those guys have a little bit more authenticity when they talk about this kind of stuff. When Obama does it, I think about his presidency. I think about fracking. I think about oil. I think about the oil industry. I think about the wars he started in the Middle East. I think about his cushy relationship with corporations in general. And corporations produce they produce like 70% or more of the total global emissions. As in, business activity is producing most of the world's carbon emissions. Most of the world's environmental problems are as a result of corporations. And Obama had a great relationship with corporations. So why did he and then he also has this, he enjoys that podcast he does with Michelle as well. And Michelle gets she has her book. I can't think of the name of her book, but the point is that the Obamas have a great press relationship, and they have a great entertainment relationship, and this is just another example of the line between entertainer and president is getting harder and harder to see. The line is blurred. I mean, you got Trump as president, I mean, the Apprentice guy as president, basically. I mean, that's what most people remember him from on TV, was The Apprentice. Um, he's a TV star, reality star. He gets to be president. Obama becomes president, then becomes a reality TV star, essentially. You know, coasting off his presidency and taking his presidency and utilizing it to both help in the symbiotic relationship with with Netflix, the most popular streaming platform, the monopoly, the gold standard of streaming. I mean, I only subscribe to one streaming site, and that's Netflix. I don't use anybody else. Mostly because they're the OG. They're the OG. You know, they don't have corporate strings hanging from them. You know, Disney Plus is just trying to become Netflix. Hulu is just trying to become Netflix. Amazon Prime, Apple, HBO, they all just want to be Netflix. But Netflix is cool in a way that they're not. They'll never be, because at least Netflix is its own company. It doesn't have some multi-billion-dollar parent company that I mean, well, it is a multi-billion-dollar company, but it doesn't have some parent company in telecommunications or a tech company directing its narrative. Because of course every company that ever has had a streaming platform has a narrative and an agenda. And of course Netflix has an agenda too. They have a very pro-LGBT agenda. It's clear. But at least it's their agenda. It's no one else's. They can at least own their own agenda, and they don't have to be dictated their agenda from Apple or Google or whoever else. So yeah, this is, of course, this is blurring those lines between the real world and TV and movies and this symbiotic relationship you're seeing with the Obamas and the tech industry, the Obamas and this kind of relationship is not good for our country. It's not good for America. It's not good for anybody, because it just gives Obama credibility that he shouldn't have. It turns him into an environmentalist when he never was, and when he never really was one. When he had the chance to be an environmentalist in office, and he rejected that. He rejected if people, sure, was he a better president on the environment than most, if not all of them, besides Jimmy Carter maybe? Yes, he is one of the most environmentalist presidents, but that does not tell you much. That does not mean much, because every president has been bad on the environment. Every president. Not one president has had a good environmental policy. Not one president has taken the environment serious, has taken climate change serious. Of course, most of our history, climate change wasn't a thing, or at least nothing we could pinpoint or blame on us. So, but now that we're living in this age, the modern age, there's no excuse for ignoring climate change and not doing what you can as a president to address it, because and we had a great chance with Obama to do some of these things, and he didn't do it. He did some things, but he also did many other bad things, like fracking, for example, bad for the environment. I'm kind of back and forth on fracking, but it's definitely not environmentalist. Anyway, thank you guys.